Um, First of all, thank you to Morag, who has organised all of this for us. And particular thanks then to Sam Stamp, who is our speaker today.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Sam Stamp. As you said, I was ex-head of innovation and new business at Simmons & Simmons. And I'm now working on that in three ways. I run a business called Legal Engine. I'll touch a tiny bit on that, but this isn't a pitch, but we build voice-first agentic AI for business services. So what are we going to cover? We're going to go over the fundamentals of the technology. I really emphasize how important it is to understand, almost more than other kinds of technology that you've worked with in the past, actually understanding how some of this works. You didn't need to understand HTML, CSS, and Java to use the internet. You do need to understand the tech behind this to understand when to use AI and when not to. We're going to talk a little about the concept of a working relationship, which I think is an incredibly important way of reflecting on how you as individuals, and then you in your capacity as managers and members of a team, use it. Then what does it mean for marketing and business development? What does it mean for all of you in your roles? I think that's arguably why you're all here. And so what do we do next? There are no answers. If anyone has, or rather, there are no definite answers. So the technology. You will probably all recognize each one of these logos. If not, don't worry. ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, Copilot, which is probably the one most of you are familiar with, and Claude. That's Anthropic's model, which is maybe the one that you'll be least familiar with. These are the big 5 generative AI large language model platforms that are in wide use today. These are all organizations that have underlying foundational models. Those are foundational AI models that are able to generate words, and they all have publicly available apps, websites, or integrations that enable other people to use them or to build applications on top. So when people talk about OpenAI or ChatGPT, they're talking about this one here, and they're talking about ChatGPT is the accessible large language model that has been produced by OpenAI. And they have different models that sit underneath that work in different ways. Gemini is Google's, Copilot is Microsoft's. Copilot actually takes advantage of the models that OpenAI built. So you'll see that this is a very interconnected world. But if you're literally at the beginning, and this is something that you don't use on a daily basis, when someone talks about using GPT or Copilot, they're talking about using an interface where they type words into a box and a generative answer comes back. Now, if you use these stuff already, that seems quite obvious, but you should always, if you haven't tried out all 5 of these, I recommend that you at least have a play.
So we're good to know which firms Sam speaks to are really setting the standard in terms of AI adoption for marketing and business development, and what has led to these firms taking the early lead. Can you share any examples of how they've adopted AI?
Yeah, so I won't name any names just for a variety of reasons, but there are, I'd say, those who were given access to early trials of Copilot, it was a real advantage. A lot of firms only gave, because it's quite expensive, right? It's £30 a user a month or something. Only access was given to lawyers, which I think minimized adoption and then sort of minimized the use case. So firms that said, okay, we're going to get business services on Copilot as well, that was a real advantage. But then, and then who acknowledged that there are 2 tiers of benefit. I can make you as an individual more productive. Great. How do you measure that? Really hard, except your anecdotal sort of feedback. But then the next one is, and what are 2 or 3 specific things that we're really going to invest in? So someone had to rewrite all of their creds. So they changed all of their creds through, using a little sort of tone of voice agent. Someone did the same with cropping and changing the background and all of their pictures. Obviously, there's a couple of firms we're working with who are using Leonard to do which is our voice agent, to do their directories.
Thank you. Really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Sue. Thanks, Morag. Thank you, everyone.